know. That's the harder part, because the Rust 2 documentation, it's spread over different versions.
Yeah.
And with different DDS systems, the middlewares, and so I'm trying to switch between them, and it's not a very easy task to manage. And the last 2 weeks I've been a little bit away, because been taking care of my baby Julia and my wife, so I didn't have a lot of time to investigate everything so far.
Yeah.
But I'm trying, and I accept any help that, if you can point me to any document that you saw or anything that you have, just send me, please, because
Yeah, I'm still at the beginning to enter with ROS 2. I got Iron installed with plenty of problems, but I still managed it, and I got it running on the Nix OS with Ido and me. We got that int 10 computer, and this is running on Nix, and it took 2 days to get it running with awful debugging. I don't know what to make of Iron, the Iron version of ROS 2.
yeah, right now the current one that's on our repository, on the Sky360 repository, on the Rust2 folder, it's running on Iron. It's pretty simple to run it. So if you wanna play with it, it's straightforward. You just have to download the repository.
Yeah. For the Orange
and
Pi
run.
5, yes, but I was trying to get it run on the Nix OS.
The problem is Nix. Yes.
Yes.
You can run the version that's on our repository anywhere that has Docker, because it runs on Docker image. And I run, for instance, I run on my PC here, and with video, just try to because I don't need to connect the camera every time, and my PC is much faster than the Orange Pi. So I do most of the developing on the PC, running directly on Docker image. It works great. It can work for anyone that wants to just try Rust2 and try the simple, not simple tracker, the Rust2 version of the video, and with background subtracting and blob detection. Everything's working. It's pretty easy to do it. So
yeah, getting it to run on my laptop with Arch Linux, it was easy, but not having I didn't had good success on running it on our Nix development system, and I have to consult Ido about that.
Yeah, Nix is another realm. So it's
but things are running so fast on Nix.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I really think that for us in the future, we'll be going to Nix OS, but not for right now, because it's a barrier that's for developers. That's a barrier for developers right now, because not everyone can have a laptop with Nix OS installed and start playing with it, because the learning curve is very steep.
Yeah, because you have to set up everything by yourself, and you have to choose things that you certainly don't want to bother about. And I'm on Nix now for about 1 year, and I like some stuff about it, but it's hard to accomplish and get it running. It's not anything that I would suggest for anyone who's new to Linux or wants to try it. And
I think that for the future we might go.
Yeah, we
for
save
Nix,
that for later.
But we'll save that for later, because it's tough. And since we're dealing right now, we're still dealing with unknowns in the software side, like Rust2 and things that we're just bumping.
Yeah,
I think it's better for us to stay on the no path. That's a little bit more comfortable for everyone. And then when we have everything set up, and we'll have a season that's running, okay, then we should try to move to Nix OS and do a configuration of Nix OS that will run everywhere, anywhere. So but not for now, because it will be a huge barrier for developers.
for me, I wanted to run my BTTS version as a ROS2 node on the int 10 PC, and that didn't go well the last week because of Nix. But
Yeah.
hopefully I will get the time in the upcoming week to write some more code and to test it further.
Yeah.
But
But
what I managed was
if you
running my old version of BTTS with NixOS with the Python Py5 Qt GUI. That was set up quite easily and run pretty fast. And
so wait a second.
yeah,
Wait a second. What did you just say? You said you had NixOS on a Pi 5?
no,
No.
I had NixOS on the int 10.
Okay. But you managed to run your PT
and I managed to run BTTS on that int 10 on NixOS.
On the int 10. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's so small, it's so nice, and you can attach it directly to the telescope. That's pretty awesome.
What board are you using?
My old board that I created myself with a Teensy 3.2.
And you run NixOS on a Teensy?
No. I took the int 10.
I'm confused.
I took that one. Attached BTTS to it
that
directly and put it on the telescope and did some test runs. Because I couldn't get hold of a working ROS2 system, and I tried to get BTTS working as a ROS2 node, as it is. But I have to rewrite some things to get it working.
The int 10 box that you have in your hand, how much did we pay for that? Did you pay it? I don't know.
465?
Oh, okay. That's quite expensive.
Yeah, because of the RAM. And we're using an NVMe drive.
So the board itself without the NVMe is how much? Do you know?
Around 400.
400.
It doesn't make any sense to go less. It's nice if you want to have for a telescope. It's nice to have it as a data station and a centralized controlling system.
That would at least
because
help.
you do not need much from the graphic card.
Yeah, but basically this helps with NixOS at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment it is.
It would not help the problem that Fabio is facing with the buffer.
I had some problems with the Orange Pi 5 buffer to take the images with my ZWO 1600 camera. The images are a little bit smaller than with the QHY, but I couldn't get more than 4 frames per second out of it in full frame mode.
Okay, just to make clear, you're using the Pi 5 with the SWO-cam, and you can't get
with
full frames. You can only get full frames on 4 FPS.
Yes.
Yes. So Fabio, you're running on your local PC.
No. I'm running on everywhere. When I'm just developing like things for ROS2, I run on my local PC with video. So I have that controlled environment that I can play with. when I'm developing for the like the KHY and things like this, that's over there. Then I develop that directly on the Orange Pi. The
Okay.
KHY is connected to the Orange Pi,
Yeah.
I do that
and
too.
and I can get like 8 FPS of the full frame videos on the Orange Pi. So
As a video, and this is the point. I try to do image sequences with full frame and full resolution of 16 bits. Okay, it's 14 bits plus 2 stripped down, and but I'm getting at least 4 frames per second as FITS files out of it.
okay, so okay. The problem might be in several different places,
Yes.
and might be on the USB connection. I don't know which cable we're using, the USB-C or the 3.0. The USB-C it's better. It's running better than the 3.0 with the latest drivers. Okay, that's my experience. The other thing is this: where you're saving it directly on the SD card or on the NVMe.
NVMe.
Yeah. Okay. So the NVMe on the Orange Pi 5, it's only one bus. Okay. So it's a little bit slower than the normal NVMe with four PCI Express buses, and also it depends on the a little bit on the yeah. So sometimes it's struggle to record video or directly or save or just save the images also because when I try to encode them the encoding process is also taking a lot of time. So it's something that's I still have to deal with. I didn't play with it yet, but it's something that I will have to play with it soon. So be able to record the images as fast as we can also. So I don't have much insight for you on this field. We might exchange a little bit later, but I guess that we'll have to investigate where it's struggling. If it's on the CPU side of encoding the frames and saving, or it's just an I/O problem. I still don't know.
I switched to FITS data format because you can write it directly on
Yeah.
any hard disk or any medium. I'm not sure where the bottleneck comes from, and
Guys,
that's why I was trying to use it on the in 10. Maybe it was coming from there, and I compared it, but it seems that the USB in combination with a video buffer maybe this combination may be slow.
Okay. Yeah, they had a lot of trouble in the Orange Pi with the USB drivers for a long time.
Yeah.
And on the latest versions, it's much better, but I don't know if it's completely fixed. So, but up to the version that 1.1.4, it was terrible. It was awful. It was unable to reach full speed on USB 3. But now it's better. It's working. At least it seems to be working fine. But I don't know if it's competing with the NVMe on any level, and then we're struggling with I/O to save files. I don't know. I have to investigate it.
Remember when I tried out the NVMe drive connected to the USB port, and I got while copying with rsync up to 6 gigabytes per second. That's still working, but I don't get the images that fast.
Okay.
I think that the problem may be lying in the video buffer. If the images are already on any storage that is connected to USB 3, it's damn fast by only copying it. I think the problem is how the video buffer is connected, or maybe addressed, or something like that.
Yeah, I would try. I would try to just make a very simple like get frames and save frames things with the K2i just to see the performance, because I have an NVMe connected to my Orange Pi also on the board. So just to test performance wise.
Yeah.
I'll try to do that later.
Yeah.
Hey guys, may I ask some basic questions? So, when the camera is connected via USB to the Pi 5, we take that stream of images, and it is not encoded to a video from the camera. It's encoded as single frames, right?
Okay, so I'm talking about the K2i, okay? How
Yeah.
it works with K2i right now.
Yes.
No, so the K2i, I use the K2i SDK, so I don't use video at all. So I just it's just a connection between the Orange Pi and the K2i camera that's over there. By USB, I just send USB signals, and it sends me the data. It's not video data. It's just plain
Image sequences.
raw data, raw pixels. That's it. Then I get this pixel, this buffer. It's just a buffer, and I get this buffer and transform it to an image, so I can visualize it.
Do you have to store
And that's
in?
it.
Can you do this all in memory?
No, it's all done in memory, only memory.
It's all done in memory. So the stream via the USB comes into memory. You read it into a certain buffer, and you manipulate or create another buffer, and you make a transformation, whatever. It's all in buffer. And the problem that you are having with ROS 2, is it an implication that ROS 2 needs that image to be stored before being processed, or can it just be taken directly from the memory?
It's not stored. I don't store anything.
Okay.
I'm just getting the image.
Yeah.
Getting it on memory, and then sending it as a message to the ROS2 bus. That's it.
Okay.
And then we have another. And then I have another node.
This process is too slow because this message is quite huge. It's containing the image.
Yes.
Yeah, I read that ROS 2 is known for being much slower than ROS 1 on large images. Have you Googled around? I did that after our last meeting, or if last time I was with in the meeting like 14 days ago, and I think we are not the only one having this problem. So maybe someone.
No, we are not. No, yeah, I investigated a lot. There's a lot of people that had this problem before, but most of them are not even working with, like, they're working with large images, but not as large as ours. So it's and some of them suggested a lot of things that I tried. It's better, but it's still unusable.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Can you explain somehow?
Maybe it's the wrong product for us. Yeah, I don't know.
It might, yeah, we might be. Maybe ROS 2 on the current stage at least might not be the best fit for us. I don't know. I still have to investigate a little bit further, a lot more in-depth investigation, because the last 2 weeks for me were very hard. So I didn't have much time to do it.
By the way, how is your family? How is your family, by the way?
No, Julie's great. She did 4 months yesterday. But it's hard times, tiresome, very. They're great. Yeah. My wife and kid are great, but it's just very tiresome. The overall process, I have to entertain her during the day, during the entire day. It's tiresome. I know most of you have kids, so you know it. And I'm a father that's a little bit old. I'll be 50 this year, so. But that's it.
Okay. At least wish all best speedy recovery.
It's just a lot of work. and I have to work, and I have to take care of the
Yeah.
kids and
Yeah.
everything. So sometimes it's just a lot of work. But we're getting there. It's much better now that it was like 1 month ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Getting better every day. It's okay. Fabio, can you explain me how ROS 2 is using what is the process and what are the steps when you call a request from via ROS 2 for an image? What is going on? Is it a mem copy process? How is ROS 2 handling? Is it working on the same buffer, or is it having an own buffer and you have to mem copy in it? What's going on there?
No. I, I'm I'm reducing the mem copying as much as the most as I can. Okay. But anyway, we're not talking about, I don't know, 1 gigabyte size. We're talking about 20 megabytes files buffer.
Yeah.
So it's even so, it's not that much, but doing a mem copy, it's fast. I don't know where the problem is right now. We have a publisher that's the image. We have a subscriber that subscribes for the image that I'm publishing, and it's I don't know where the problem is. I might be that the middleware is like is chunking the image into multiple uh, different sizes and then making and everything together again to the publisher. I don't know. If that was over the network, I was pretty sure that was the problem, like UDP or anything like this. But everything is in process. I'm not even using network. So I really, right now, I'm struggling to find where the problem is when we get over like 2 megabytes images, 2.5 megabytes images. When it gets over this point, it starts to struggle. Everything below this is just as fast as it can be.
I couldn't find out how huge the video buffer where it is where the images are stored in really is. I think there might be the bottleneck, that this buffer is too small and that it creates much more to
Yeah,
put the chunks in and rearrange them afterwards.
yeah. I think that the problem is also on something like this. It's like the same with UDP. So it chunks it in several messages, and it has to put everything together again in the end, and that's the problem where the problem is. So we have to increase this buffer size, and I didn't find where.
Yeah, me too. I had the same problem.
So
And if we can increase it, let's say up to 50 or 100 megabyte, that would be good.
yeah, and that's nothing. We're talking about 100 megabytes in our memory. That should be completely feasible. So
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Can you find out the sweet spot? Let's say now the sweet spot of the size that is still with the max FPS coming through until it breaks down. Is there, for
That's
example,
2 megabytes?
2 megabytes, something like this, or can you make it? Can you
Yeah,
say how much bytes?
it's around 2 megabytes. It's around 2 megabytes.
That
I
is
didn't
only
find.
that is only suitable for low resolution video cameras like a webcam.
Of course, of course.
Therefore, it's optimized, and maybe this is the problem.
Yeah, of course. But the DDS behind it as the service, right? It's the DDS service ROS2 is using. Yeah. I think there's the configuration part for that buffer size, right? Either hard encoded or in a parameter file, whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out because ROS2 uses 3 different DDSs that you can choose from. Okay. So I'm trying with this. I forgot the name. It's on the other computer there. I'm trying to this new one and trying to investigate a little bit further. But I have to dive deep to this because right now it's unusable for anything over 2 megabytes image sizes. It's just unusable.
I just wonder whether there is a configuration file for these buffers for these sizes?
Might,
Or is
might
it
be,
hard coded?
yeah, it might have. Yeah, and if any of you find something about it, just send me, please,
Okay.
because
Okay.
sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you are maybe looking, and you don't see something that's right in front of
Yeah.
you, but that's normal.
Okay. So can we, for the audience, because I'm recording now, if someone can have a look into, can you explain it in details with your words better than mine?
Okay, perfect. So right now we are using Rush2. Okay, we're using Rush2 system with a DDS behind it to send messages between nodes. So that means that we have a camera node that's streaming. It's not streaming. It's sending still messages, still images as fast as it can on a bus, and we have one or more subscribers that gets these images from this topic where I publish it, and they get this image and process it, then doing what it wants to do. For instance, we have the camera, the QHI camera, and then we have the background subtractor. The background subtractor gets the image, process it, do the background subtraction, and then process it, and then extracts the bounding boxes of where the changes are, and then publishes it on another node. That's how it works. Okay. And right now, my problem is that when I get images over 2 MB in size, when they go over 2 MB in size, that means I don't know, 2,000 something by 1,000, and then it go over this size of image. The Rush2 of it starts to struggle to make the stream as fast as it can. It's, for instance, the image appear here, and then it drops a lot of the images, and then it just gets another one there, and then it drops a ton of other images, and it keeps dropping images. So I did play with the quality, the QoS, the quality of service. I did play with the DDS configuration, but so far I did improve it, but it's still not usable for anything over 2 MB in size.
Maybe we should look for another architecture just for the images and keep ROS2 for the other type of messages we are sending.
Yeah, I don't know.
Try to find another
Right
solution
now,
for the images, because maybe this is a dead end. I don't know where up to, or you. I'm not participating, but I'm thinking about the alpha, and this is taking a lot of resources and time.
Yes.
Maybe you should set the last date or something if the problem hasn't been solved. Maybe it's time to look another way.
no,
I don't think that would be a solution and a good solution. We don't do deadlines because that doesn't solve the problem. But taking more effort and looking into how the DDS is configured, I think that would be much more of a solution of that. We do not have to be ready tomorrow because we don't sell anything. We don't depend on earning money with it. So deadlines are not the solution for that. But looking into it, understanding the problem and fixing it, this is what gets us around much better. And I think, yes, Fabio is right. Let's take the time and look into it.
And if in the end we figure out that Rush2, even configuring everything, is not the perfect solution for us, then we might change it for something else. But we might have to change in everything because we cannot separate. Since we are thinking about dealing with a system with events, and also have events for different sensors, and the camera is just one of the sensors. Everything it's suitable to run on the same system.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we're trying to have everything on the same one. Rush2 seems to be a very good system for us to be in, but if that's not suitable for us, then we might change it in the future. But right now, I think the best solution for us to investigate it further and try to fix the problem for ourselves. And even if, for instance, what I can do is the same thing I do with the app, for instance. Everything is just connected. I get the image, then I do the background subtraction, then I do the blood processing, everything on the same node, and then just publish the results. That will be faster. if you want to like just release something. But I don't want to do on this path right now. That's just a last resort solution to put everything on the same pipeline, just publishing the result to saving the file or anything like this, and for a UI to use it. But that's not where I want to use right now. Right now I want to try to solve the problem, and the problem is that solve the buffer and solve the in-process communication. I think it's
Yes.
solvable. I just didn't have much time to investigate it further. So any help is appreciable.
Yeah, I think I understand Magnus' point of view. It could be that in the future we find out that ROS2 is not working at all, no matter how much we put in. Could be. It could be. Yeah? Of course, at the point where we are right now, it could be 80% that you could manage it, but you're not 100% sure. That's the point. And then what a fallback. So basically, the idea is not bad to have a fallback solution. But I totally go with Fabio saying this is something we can solve. I think it has to be, it can be solved. But because from my point of view, from my humble point of view, it's just a buffer size that is defined somewhere. Just find the point where it is and change it. And that's basically the question to the audience. If there's someone who can enlighten us on ROS2 and DDS configuration, and especially if it's hard-coded, where can we find the code line? That would be sweet.
We have to talk to Ido because he knows DDS the best.
Yeah, I'm talking with Ido also. But right now he couldn't join today, but we're talking a lot, and he's trying to help also.
Yeah.
Right now I'm still struggling with the 2 megabyte size. Let's figure out how to solve it.
Yeah.
And you both have the same issue with family. He has a kid sick, and the wife is sick. This is quite the same as you.
Yeah, true.
This is
yeah.
weird.
It's symmetry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. True. Last week I couldn't join, and he was here, and this week I am here. He's not. So
Yeah. Now, okay, so let's go for that. Let's see how. I think it is doable. Maybe it takes more time, true, and I can already hear people crying out for it. But we postponed our deadlines so often that it's better not to talk about deadlines anymore, and only talk about issues or barriers that we have to take. What is the next barrier? And this is the next big barrier to take.
Yeah, and thinking just about release and things like this, we came a long way. We came from nothing to something that right now we have it, but it's still not the way we want it. But we'll get there, and we'll get there, and I think we are on the right path.
Yeah, definitely. And especially if we can also include some additional modules in the future, like what David and Yannick are doing. So when you guys fork your the GitHub, the Sky50 GitHub, and locally, did you already? David, can you hear me? Oh yeah. Does he say something? I can't hear anything.
No, he unmuted, but I don't think it's working.
David, you're still muted, but we couldn't hear what you said. No, your microphone seems to be down or low. Okay, anyways, yeah, that would be the nice thing in the future, so that the developers just download the repo locally and add their stuff. I'm really looking very much forward to that point.
And I can also help if they have any trouble setting up ROS2 or connecting to anything. So that's completely feasible because the way I configure the ROS2 repository, the folder, it's very easy to just copy one CPP file and create another node and just change the names.
So you have
and you can just work with that.
You have basically a template that people can use.
Yeah, most of the nodes are very easy, are very small. They just do one thing only. For instance, background subject gets subscribes to an image topic, process it, and publishes another topic. That's it. And so they are the code is very easy. You just have to remove the part that you don't want it and put another part that you want to do it. So I can help with that.
Cool. David, I hope you could hear that. Can you just mute and unmute so that we know that you heard it?
He's talking on the chat right now.
He's talking, pardon me, he's talking what?
On the chat.
Oh, he's chatting.
On the chat.
Okay. Where's the chat here?
Seems to be he says he's running on the Pi 5, so that could be the bottleneck for his
he's working on it.
audio stream.
Cool, great. Yeah, we sent hardware to David and Bojan for audio analysis, and it is the parts are from Infineon, and the MEMS are also, I think, from Infineon. So what they too are figuring out is how audio sensors can be used.
Okay.
Yo. Yeah, one more information. Wayne, if you can hear me. Wayne? Ah, there he is.
What's up?
Yeah, this Wayne. Oliver printed, sorry, I hear your background, Wayne. What is, okay.
Oh, yeah, my wife's watching TV.
Okay, got
it. You were going to get me some STLs to print. You said you wanted 10 sets, but I never heard back from you.
We didn't because we are still updating some files.
Okay.
So now we are finalized with this. Oliver printed 8 times 4 parts. So what we do is making bundles of 4 different parts, 3D printed parts, and we put those bundles as little boxes into the store. Okay. And what Oliver now did, he produced 8 of these boxes, these bundles. And the question is now that we have the final versions of the STL, is actually now we can send you the STLs if you're okay with it.
Yep, I'm ready.
Cool. And maybe you can also make kind of 8 packages of the four variations.
Yeah, I can do that.
Kind of. I mean, there's no time limit. Whenever you have time to do it, whenever it fits best for you.
My printer's actually set empty right now, which is rare. So.
Okay. And of course, we refund material costs and work time and so forth. So Oliver will talk with you about details about this.
Yeah, just make sure I get them STLs and I can start printing them.
Yep.
I have plenty of that plastic, so.
Okay. Perfect. So, yeah, what is another topic? Another topic is that next Saturday we have our Science Advisory Board kickoff meeting. That's an interesting part to note. What else, Christian?
Our staff for the Maker Fair at Hannover from 19th to 20th is lacking one member. So, Yannick, do you have time and maybe you're interested?
There's a Maker Fair from the 19th to the 20th.
Yes.
Is that right?
At Hannover.
Okay, I'm not sure yet. Maybe. Because I may be also traveling. So I can't say for sure right now. Yeah.
If you know for sure, then just hit me on Signal, and I send you the invitation for creating the badge, because the badge has to be produced in advance.
Okay, I see. And you're planning to present the Sky 360
Yes,
on the Maker Fair?
like we did that at Maker Fair Vienna in the beginning of June, and we met the organizer of Maker Fair Hannover, and he asked us if we want to join, and he got us a free booth there.
Nice.
This
Yeah.
badge. And and we said, okay, since we were very successful in meeting people and getting Sky 360 out of there, we said, okay, we're going to do that, because Hanover is just 130 kilometers of my place here, and it's easy to get there, set it up, and
Nice.
fill it with life.
Yeah. I have to well, I can maybe tell you on a short notice, because I was initially planning to travel this weekend and it didn't work out, and I'm thinking about traveling exactly that weekend. So,
Okay.
but I don't know. It was postponed because of a sickness of one of my family members, and so we are thinking about traveling on that weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to update you later, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Christian, basically we have 3 slots, and 2 slots are taken by yourself and by Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
since I know Leo, I can talk with him if anyone else wants to join and help on the booth. Maybe we can arrange some more. But at the moment, we've got 1-3 batch, and anyone who's interested can join in.
okay. So you could get more badges if you want, if you need to.
Yes, I think I can talk to
Okay.
Leo that he will nominate 1 or 2.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So if anyone from around Germany, where's in Hannover, you said? So
Yes.
who is able to go? And how long does it take? It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, it's Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday.
But we will set up the booth on Friday, so we will be 1 day plus.
Yeah.
It will be 1 day plus for us.
Yeah. Okay. And what is the time again?
Time on 19th and 20th is, I think it starts at 10.
August.
And 19th and 20th of August. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there it is. 19th to 20th August. Okay. And you start setting up on 18th. Yeah.
Yes.
So whoever is interested, Christian can arrange more badges if need is.
Yeah.
Cool. Yo. Hey guys, is there anything else we need to discuss? Fabio, you've got anything on the line? Okay. I would say, because it's summertime and many people have family issues and vacation issues and others, we make it a short one and wrap it up for today. If okay with you?
Yeah.
Or do you want to discuss the outcomes of the Congressional Hearing in the US? I mean...
Was there any?
At least that it took place was important, not the outcome.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it wasn't for the show.
Lots of people claiming they've got all United States has got all kinds of stuff, but they're not showing us anything.
Not yet.
So no outcome.
No outcome
No
in a
outcome, yeah.
sense, yeah. But I think the outcome is that now these whistleblowers are officially accepted and they delivered their data, and the Congress has now action plans to go forward, whatever that means. But if you believe Burchett, I mean, I think he's really hot for it, so he wants to see. So he's and Luna, they're definitely on for it.
They're claiming over 51 species of aliens that they've encountered. 51.
51, what do you mean? 51
51 different types
Alien
of aliens.
races.
Yep, alien races. 51. And they all look different. None of them look like. And none of them look like the pictures we see, they say. They say it's all totally different.
I just need to see one.
Yep, so who knows? That's what they're claiming.
Who's claiming that?
51. All the whistleblowers, the people testifying in Congress.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if they've actually said that in Congress, but they've said it on, interviews with the news and stuff. 51 species. I forget how many craft they said they've collected. They're saying all kinds of stuff. They're saying that we have craft now. We've built anti-gravity craft. We have our own. They say that all the abductions were faked by the U.S. government, like when Barney and whatever his wife's name was there, the Barney Hill or whatever, the famous ones. They're claiming that was all the U.S. military did that for whatever reason. I forget. They explained why.
This is really suspect. Well, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
That
That's what they're claiming.
Military is doing such things on its own populace. It's hard to swallow.
United States wouldn't surprise me a bit.
I mean, it could be a rogue group, absolutely, but that's nothing to do with the government itself.
I think there's some rogue groups in the government, probably.
Okay. Yeah, it's not all the same. Yeah.
United States, after all. Home of the free and the brave.
And the United States is famous for doing several different programs without knowing of the population. So, I don't know. I still have to see something.
Yeah.
Really see.
They would actually show us something real, but I don't expect they ever will. I mean, not in my lifetime. Maybe my great grandkids will see something, but.
I mean, consider yourself being kind of one of these MICs. Let's say Northrop Grumman, for example. If you really have that stuff, it's already brought somewhere else, wouldn't you? I mean, you would hide it immediately. Because it's burned. If the whistleblower says it is there, it's already burned. So you have to bring it away.
But they said that lots of countries have this technology, is what they're saying. It's not just the United States. They say the Russians have it, the Israelis have it. They made a list, and it was a long list of people. They said all have this alien technology, how they could all keep it secret and not come out in a war. I mean, that'd be the place you'd see it, I would think, would be in a war, but who knows? It's a good way to get a paycheck. I think they get like $20,000, $22,000 for an interview on the news. Man, I'd be a whistleblower for $22,000. I'd tell a good story. And who knows? That might be what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody can prove they're lying in Congress, right? So they can't be charged with perjury. Then ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News pays them $20,000 for every interview. It's a good way to make a living if you can get to work.
Yeah. I mean, they now had 8 years of getting their hands on it or their grips on it, and they couldn't make it. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I think the crew. I mean, it's a military thinking how they did it. It was not scientific thinking how to manage the topic, let's say. From my point of view, it was a military thinking. So encapsulate it, compartmentalize it, put it away, hide it away, make a secret out of it. If it would be a scientific approach, it would be publishing, you know? So just to keep it under the rug for 80 years and making no progress at all. I mean, if there would be progress, we would have seen it on a big scale, wouldn't we? And not only one TR3B per year have been seen by someone. I think we would have seen that stuff much more often if it would be ready, working, and in use.
They say some of the technology we're seeing is a result of alien technology. We just don't know it. They give credit to scientists. So, you know, I mean, computers, radar, you know, microwave ovens, you know, who knows what came.
Lasers.
Yeah, lasers, absolutely, yeah. So who knows, you know? And will we ever find out? I don't know.
Yeah,
after a while,
still the big question about the energy source, the propulsion, the anti-inertial system, all that stuff is still unknown. So what I want to say, my point is, if you have brought that to the scientific level at the very beginning, it wouldn't have taken 80 years. You know, if you bring this on a global level, everywhere can work on it, because everywhere, we all have microwave ovens, even the Chinese have. I mean,
well, that's because they needed them for the Apollo missions. That's why microwave ovens became commonplace, is they used them when they went to the moon. So, I mean, if they have to bring something out, then, you know, I mean, that's bringing out a microwave oven is not the same thing as showing us a alien spacecraft that flies with beings that don't look human. You know, there's a big difference there. And that's basically what they're claiming, that a lot of the technology advances that we've seen.
Make a hoverboard and impress me. I mean,
that would be a good start.
We haven't seen a hoverboard yet.
But they are making a lot of advances in
Superconductivity, yes, I read that.
Yeah, the zero resistance, what do you call that? What's the term I'm thinking of?
The Meissner effect, yeah.
No, and also now in the news lately with the energy from humidity, they're figuring out how to get the energy from humidity. So it's published even on Nature. I will send you the links. It's amazing.
What can they do? Can you repeat that? I didn't get it.
They get energy from humidity.
Yeah, from just from humidity.
Some of the links I forwarded
like
to you.
Like a thermal pump or so.
No, out of humidity, like water drops. Not like a thermal pump where you use the difference between temperatures, make something cooler and get energy out of it. No, it's passing very, very small drops of water through a grid that is made of special materials and causing Thunderbolts forces to revert themselves, and therefore you from that you can get a charge.
And they're saying it's a very cheap process. The materials aren't rare like lithium and all that other crap. It's a common substance.
And
they can use it. Most of the substances are very, very. You can do it for almost anything that has, like, you just have to punch the holes in the right size and everything. So it's doable.
Mm-hmm.
And it is tried to do it with metal printing.
Yeah.
And they just come up with that's the term I was thinking of, was a superconductor. They just come up with a superconductor that appears to work at room temperature. So, and it's a common, it's not rare earth metal either.
Still needs to be proven.
Yeah, it's they actually wrote a paper on it, or whatever you call those things they publish, you know, but
yeah, but it's calling a lot of attention, and there's people already trying to replicate it. So we'll just have to wait a few weeks to.
Somebody can repeat it, right? It's nothing until somebody can duplicate it.
I think they will come out in mid of December this year with this technology, because the Department of Energy last year published that they are capable of doing laser fusion, and this year this might be the case that they will come out that they can create energy from humidity.
No, it's amazing. I read a bunch of articles about it.
But Thunderbolts power is Thunderbolts forces are very, very, very weak. You need a huge surface to get anything out of like a charge, and then you're certainly
yes,
not on 100% efficiency. So you need really huge cells.
Efficiency is up to 74% at the moment, and they
Wow.
they are not able to mass create those grids. They created them in their laboratory, but only in very, very small amounts, and it's not ready to be used on an industrial scale.
Okay, get it. So the effect was just proven to be working. Okay,
yes,
get it. Yeah.
The other hand is try to find any paper, any scientific approved paper about 0-point oscillation. Try to find any. You find, I think, 3 papers about it, and they were derived between 78 and 94. That's all.
That will be interesting. Interesting times coming up in all directions. Hey, by the way, have you seen the last episode of Skinwalker Ranch?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Whoa, what have we seen there?
The thing is the problem is always the show. The show itself, that they just cut it and cut it and cut it, and it ended with the rocket going up and disappearing. And
yeah, okay. So when you take away all the show side of it and just take the data, the images, the videos, what have you. Sorry, if I fire up rockets, a rocket burner is never 100% centric. This is just it's a compound that is lighted on and it burns, but this burning is never 100% in the center. So the point of equilibrium is somewhere above it. So there needs only to be a little variation in it for it to take another route and not going straight up. So I'm wondering why they are wondering why these rockets went not straight up. Sorry, I don't get it.
I don't think that a rocket has to go straight up in this case. They talk about that this spherical like force field they call portal is around 30 feet above the ground. This is 10 meters. So if there would be something, why not use a lifter?
They used to lift
10
last
meters.
time.
That's nothing.
They used to lift the
No,
last episode.
that was the time before when they tried to use, let's say, a flamethrower, which didn't throw flames. It was a little bit of, I don't know. sometimes I think they have all the money they need. Why don't they go through with and show some experiments that are undeniable? These are just
and reproducible.
No, it's just random stuff sometimes. Just random stuff done just one time. Random stuff just done
Yes.
one time.
Yeah.
That doesn't prove anything.
using a rocket as a projectile to find something. If there's a force field, normally you would just use a smoke screen and then you would cover it. And they discovered that there might be a blob or something like that because of the smoke screen that was done by the rockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not use it like using some kind of smoke grenade?
I mean, for example, Christian, all these combinations of sensor equipment they already have, why don't apply them all the same? For example, what you just said, create a lot of smoke so that you have particles in the air. Put it up in the
Yes.
triangle. And then just use a thermal camera and look how the little particles diffuse and how they lose
That's what
their
I told Tommy.
They change their energy.
That's what
Normally they should lose it.
what I told Tommy in April or so.
Yeah.
And when they first discovered this blob, then I saw it and said, okay, why not use some kind of smoke screen? I talked with Tommy about it, and he is very tight to those people.
Yeah.
He has direct connections to Eric, so and he said, okay, he will talk about it. And then 2 weeks later, I received an answer. Yeah, Tommy's not. Eric is not up to that for the moment. They have other things they want to try.
And the same thing was with the laser when once they pumped the laser up and the laser deflected. So okay, just put a laser projector up there. Put it up with instead of a pointer and see if it deflects or not. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's not done. That's basic stuff, and that bothers me. Even though I have seen a lot of people vouching for everyone that's on the range and everything like this, and the experiments, and so it just sometimes seems like just random ideas done.
I think it is a selection. What we see is
in the most chaotic way. So
yeah, I think what we see is a selection of what History Channel selects for taking pictures from. So, for example, I think they every week or every 2 weeks a team goes out there for a couple of days and taking some pictures, and that's then go back to the editor, and that consumes, I don't know, 20% of the time of Eric Bart. It consumes his time. So what he's doing the rest of the time, what data is he generating in the rest of the time, and why is not representing that data that he already found in the History Channel episode? Why always exaggerate the viewer, the audience, with new pictures, new rockets, and the best pictures are in the night when something explodes and lights are showing up. That's what they like. Yes, that's interesting, but the interesting part is in the Excel sheets, is in the graphs, is in the correlations, is in the whatever. You know, that's not something that's so fancy on TV. That's my problem.
Yeah, they just want ratings. That's exactly what they're going for. They're going for ratings, not, because that's what keeps them on the air.
Yeah,
that's what makes them money.
Yeah, true.
Got to get people to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said, what bothers me is the show. The show that bothers me.
Yeah.
Any idea why
they enslave themselves into the show?
Any idea why they break up with drilling? I watched the show of the first season of Blind Frog Ranch, and they used a completely different drilling equipment that drilled through, let's say, 100 or 200 meters of solid rock within 1 day. And they said, okay, they were drilling with that, let's say, puppy drilling system within 7 weeks and didn't get any further.
Yeah, no
No.
outcome yet. Maybe he's still up there and still drilling.
No.
No,
They took it off and said, okay, we skipped that.
Yeah, no, we'll try again next year.
In the same
It was
hole.
something like this.
So we bore in the same hole
So
again. deeper.
that makes no sense. That makes no sense at all. If they already if the drill stops somewhere and it's not going further, so they already have the hole. Why not put a camera there and see what's not going further? No,
They
not
didn't
even
do
that.
it.
Not even put a camera on the hole that's open. That bothers me.
What I do not understand is why bore holes. I mean, there's the mesa, there's all this stone and gravel that lies around. You know what they do in in mines, where they mine on open rocks and get the big rocks. They have the big machinery.
They blew it open.
They do it daily, open. I mean, just make a little crane there, picking for weeks, pick it out. But no,
Yeah,
it has to be done
just
something
dig.
stupid, something like a hole, something we can record within 30 minutes of showtime. Is this
They're
the reason?
selling the mystery. They're selling the mystery. If they go down there, who knows? They might have sent a camera down there, and there's nothing down there but a rock. So they say, "Oh well, we can't show the audience this. That won't
Why
attack
not?
you. We got this big mystery. Why can't we drill deeper?"
The show has
I
to
mean, it's
go
all
on.
yeah. It's ratings. It's money. Yeah. I mean,
It's like Oak Island. Have you ever seen Oak Island? This is a never-ending story.
never ending.
Yeah, I talk every Sunday. I do.
Coconut.
On that little hope that I will see on this episode at least something, but nothing. Every time is the same shit.
Yeah, the outcome is
They
every
make
time
a
the
big
same.
deal over finding a button. I mean, they act like the world is changing because they found a 1864 button on
Yes.
somebody's shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big miracle. It's like, okay,
That
I
could-
find Indian had arrows out here. And,
Even a tourist could have lost that there.
yeah.
Doesn't prove anything.
What I find interesting is that they opened up a show next to their main show. It's called Beyond Skinwalker Ranch. And there they sent out a team of 2 veterans, one from the CIA, one time CIA, all the time CIA, and a journalist investigative veteran. And they go out and research, let's say, other places with same stuff. And each episode, they take one of those places, put their EMF meter out, try to do some stuff, try to figure out the same stuff they have on Skinwalker Ranch, and and show the similarities.
One
I
good
think
thing about
that is for money income only.
one good thing that the whistleblowers did say for us is they're claiming that there's dozens, if not hundreds, of UFOs in our airspace continue all the time. There's never a time when there's not dozens to hundreds of UFOs or whatever you want to call them in the air. So if we ever get this working, there's no reason we shouldn't find something.
Another interesting part is if you compare it with what's up here in Europe, and if you there are plenty of sites out there that record and collect UFO sightings or UAP sightings or everything that is mysterious. When you take a look at what's here in Germany, especially the northern part, they just see some light that are explainable by helicopters, by drones, or mistaken planets as being some kind of moving objects. But since I think it was the late 70s, there wasn't any real sighting of an UFO or incident here in Germany. Why is that so? And at other places, there are mysterious things happening all the time.
Oh, German technology.
Hessdalen has its way out there doing some stuff
in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle of nowhere. But some of the sightings there, they are already explained by the research group.
As what? As being?
As being nitrogen that is reacting with some of the things that are additionally in the water of this lake, and they could prove that some of the light balls that we're seeing were already created on the fields surrounding that shortly after these fields were made ready and got fertilizer in it.
There's a place near me that's famous for swamp gas sighting. They call it swamp gas, and it's these big balls of light that people see. It's not even 10 miles from my house, and it's famous for it. It has been since before I was born, probably.
Have you ever seen one?
I never have. I've been over there. It's a dead-end road. Like I say, it's not that far from me. I've never seen anything. I've talked to people who have. There was a black guy that lived on the corner, and he'd talk your ears off, but it's been in the news. It's been in the newspapers here in the past, and people kind of ignore it. Now, at first, everybody thought it was ghosts and UFOs and all kinds of stuff, and then they did some research, I guess, and determined it was what they called swamp gas, which is gas coming up like methane, or I don't know what it is, coming up out of the swamp and somehow igniting. And that's what they claim it is. I mean, it's like I say, I heard of it all the time when I was a kid. There was jokes that they called it the end of the world. You know, you go there, you're never going to come back and all that. And of course, we would drive out there when we were young and never see anything. But it's famous enough that it's been on the news and it made the newspapers, and they determined it was swamp gas, they call it.
But swamp gas is basically methane. Methane?
Probably, yeah. It's been a while since I did any, but it's not very. Like I say, it's not even 10 miles from my house.
We also have kind of little lakes and ponds in the Alps where methane is created. It does not come up with a big blob, and then you create methane is lighter than air, so it goes up.
Yeah.
But it isn't exploding, it's just coming out of the water like in blurbs. But I've seen the little blurbs like the bubbles coming up. But I cannot fathom any moment where a big blob comes up, so big that it raises away from as one thing from the pond and then ignites. How? I mean,
in 2018, we had that at a lake around 35 kilometers of here, because it was so dry, and we had a plague of I think the algen. What's the English word for that?
For what?
Algen.
Oh, algae. Algae.
Yeah, algae, chlorella, the blue chlorella that, and this creates methane, and it created so much that we had one blob, a huge one, and that was beneath power lines. And
Okay.
this created some, because of the power lines, it
plasma.
created some illumination. Yes.
Yeah, plasma.
No, not plasma. No. The methane was ignited in such a way, and it lasted around 40 minutes or so.
Wait,
And it had a really disc shape.
40 minutes. 40.
Yes. Yes.
How come?
In 2018, it was so dry without any wind here that it just went up, and this going up took 40 minutes.
And it was consistent in itself. It did not dissolute itself in the air, in the atmosphere. It does
Yes.
not evaporate because the higher it goes,
There
the
was
less...
no wind.
I cannot fathom any situation where a gaseous material is not dissipating into the rest when the pressure is going lower.
It did.
It did.
It did.
Okay.
But the most of it went right up and it disappeared within 40 minutes.
How would you say it was burning, like fire burning?
No.
Or was it plasmatic, like light?
It was like having a neon light, like Tesla used.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
It was not ignited, but just illuminated.
Yeah, that's where these swamp gases are supposedly too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. But it was just a very, very light illumination. It was not that much of a big deal. You do it
So-
in a laboratory all the time.
Let's go back to Hessdalen. So the idea is that such swamp gas, gaseous blobs form in the lake, come out of the water, somehow plasmatic. There must be if it is plasmatically lighting, there has to be a permanent energy input. Where is that coming from?
There are power lines on one side.
When it goes up and away from the power lines, how does it get the energy?
It doesn't.
Yeah, these swamp gases that I'm talking about are always close to the ground. They're never higher than 20 feet. They're never above the treetops, I don't think. And there is power lines over there, I think. I've never thought about that until he said that.
Okay. So
But
when
I'm
they
pretty
go
sure
when they go over the tree line, they dissipate into the rest of the atmosphere, and the plasmatic effect is gone. So the plasmatic
But
effect.
there is a main distribution line, that runs like thousands and thousands of volts that then goes to different distribution power stations. Like I have one down the road from me that knocks it down to 220 and 110. So because that's what the United States uses for power. But there's like 7,000 volts or 17,000 volts, whatever it is. And those lines do go through there. So maybe that's, he might be on.
And the traveling of the blobs along those power lines.
Yeah, because in power lines,
they reach, let's say, up to 10 meters above those power lines, because then the force field isn't strong enough.
So maybe if I want to see them gases light up, maybe that's what I need to do is be below those power lines.
Yeah. Okay.
I know if you carry a neon bulb under them, a light bulb under them, it'll light them up. Used to do that for a joke, play Star Wars.
They could do an experiment in Hessdalen. So at the moment they see such a light going up the hill, turn off the power grid in the whole valley.
Yes.
I wonder if a game camera would pick it up, because game cameras pick up movement. What if I stuck a game camera over there? I mean, it's been years since I've heard anybody talk about it, but I don't know if it's because it doesn't happen anymore, or if it's because they explained what it was and it's no big deal mystery anymore. I don't know.
And
I can ask the people who live on that road if they still see them.
One experiment could be Bosch Sensortech is creating some kind of gas sniffers, and they can be calibrated to any gas you want to detect, and outfit a drone with it, or a swarm of drones, and take samples.
Scan the valley, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that could be easily done, but you know how things are. If you can't make money with it, things are not done.
So that's a good point. I mean, we will have the meeting with Andreas from Hessdalen, and we were going to talk about equipment, hardware.
Yeah, Professor Kaya is working on the with the Hessdalen team, I think, for up to 10 or 12 years now.
Okay.
And nothing came out of that for the last 10 years.
Yeah. I think they need fresh thoughts on the topic. I think these people are too long doing the same things.
I found something interesting in one of the Hessdalen video streams that I found on one of the Mars rover videos of Curiosity some years ago. The same object with Mars rover Curiosity, you can have the original uncut and uncleaned data streams. And sometimes you have got very, very nice objects on that. And yeah, I extracted one of them and compared it with what I saw on the Hessdalen video stream. And they look not only similar, but the same. With what you can find on Hessdalen, this is already out in the public, so you can read about it and you can discover it yourself. It seems that there is a typical direction for those sightings.
A typical direction on the ground? You mean directional in geocoordinate direction?
No, those objects are flying in the same manner during some time of the year.
Oh, a seasonal thing. Okay.
It is a seasonal thing, and that might be interesting to
intergalactic touristic season.
Maybe yes, but maybe it's a typical. Let's say like with airports, you have a typical direction where to fly because of the landing site. So normally you have the main wind direction as the landing site. Those crafts do not need any because they don't use the Coanda effect. But maybe this is just a certain path that they are taking. Maybe there is another reconnaissance platform.
Or maybe it's our game, our deers, our rabbits in the valley that they are more interested in, and then they show up in the summertime, kind of. Rest of the season they're sleeping.
Yeah, but if you come from outer space, entering the Earth's atmosphere, there are paths in the atmosphere that, due to the Coriolis force, it's easier to enter.
Okay, anyway, but when you enter and you're already here, you decide where to go upon what you're looking for. And for me, these flaps, these timings, like you said, in summertime only, like the crop circles, of course, because wheat is only growing in summertime. I think there's always a reason why there are flaps in certain areas, and not necessarily for nuclear or other reasons. Maybe it's just simply that they are interested in when they're interested in our cows, that they go where the cows are.
Yeah, but it's not clarified if they are not, these crafts may be of human origin. I would say let's put out there 3 stations around the lake, one to their observing station, and the other ones to different points, and then we take images and see if those crafts appear. Let's say give it a year or two, and we collect data.
Yeah, the question is, you can create data, but the question is whether you can find an answer. So who is it? Why is it?
If we have got telescopes out there, then we can take images of, let's say, the crafts. And if these crafts are not cloaked, then you have them on tape. And then you can see, okay, this one is a disc with having, let's say, a nice triangle at the front side. Or having something like an eye.
Yeah, of course, you can identify and you can create paths. Yeah, you can create timestamps when it comes, when it's not coming.
It's not only about the path. It's if you can record, let's say, a high resolution image of a craft like that, you can say, okay, there's something in the sky that is not very common to the planes or aircraft that we know.
Yeah, of course, Christian. The tracking and with the timestamps and the locations and so forth, it's totally clear to me. But I think for a data set that is missing is the reasoning behind it. It's the why is that craft there? For what reason? What could be the reason? What are the circumstances around? What are all the parameters? For example, how many cows are in the area? How many people are in the area? How much water is in the area? Blah, blah, blah. All that plays into to find out.
With Sky 360 stations, you can track it and maybe find out where it's heading.
I think we should overlay our data with other data like bird
every
movement.
day, all the data that we can get, of course, yes. But to find the reasoning behind that, that's a little more complicated.
Of course, but when you see patterns, for example, crop circles is an easy one because crop circles are mostly found in crop. So, and crop only grows in summertime. Such an easy thing. If we, you know what I mean?
So
it could be the mitigation, migration of birds, for example. Stupid idea. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah. Okay. At those crafts, we can shoot one down.
We do not shoot.
And then ask those people what they're doing up there.
No, we do not shoot. They can shoot on
me,
but not. We do not shoot.
What about a sub-ether radio? If they are Vogons,
a sub-ether radio, a quantum radio, okay.
No, it's a sub-ether radio. Didn't you take a closer look at what's Arthur Dent doing with Fort Prefect? Fort Prefect has a sub-ether radio. It's like a thumb in the sky.
Okay, you're talking
for hitchhikers.
It's an Adams story. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and the Vogons won't let anyone aboard. But how were they called?
I don't know. Can't remember.
Forgot. The creatures are the best cooks and the best drink mixers on board of a Vogon constructor fleet.
I can't recall.
Yeah, they let the hitchhikers on board, and so they gave them a lift to Barnard Star.
Hitchhikers of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Right.
It must
so
be.
Someday when this is all working the way we hope that someday it will work, so we'll, like if different people have Sky 360s that are, let's say, 8 miles apart, is this thing going to be able to have the two of them reporting good enough so that we'll know the altitude of the object or no? Will it ever be hopefully that sophisticated, or is that beyond what we'll ever be able to do?
No,
I would go for 35 kilometers and use 3 of them, and then we get a much more exact.
So they will be able to talk to each other.
Read. Yes, of course.
Okay, that's okay. Cool.
So yes, that's the basic. That's basically the basic idea. What in English?
I really wanted them to all report so that we could.
No, the idea is to have a network. So when you.
I don't know how well they were going to communicate and try to do. So let's say we know this one is in this spot and this one's there, and it looks and says, "Hey, that other one should be able to see it," so that it would automatically start going, "Hey, maybe I should see something."
That's not necessary for that one. So just think about it. You have 24.
Well, I realize cameras.
You have 24/7 cameras. Each camera is working autonomously. Okay, and every station is reporting to a central node where there is an AI watching over the old data coming in, and then knowing where it has to triangulate, because a local station is not it can triangulate locally with a PDF, but we're not talking about that triangulation. We're talking about the triangulation on the global network. So the triangulation on the global network has to happen at the central point, because the central point is the only one who gets the data of all the stations. Okay?
Yeah,
And
Second level.
when it finds correlating points, then it can then triangulate and create a real and live real-time path.
Okay, I guess one of my other question was then is like, let's say that I'm north of an area where they're seeing one that's headed north. Is it going to be able to alert my thing that, hey, you might see a UFO coming from the south? Get ready, start looking and concentrate on that area.
There's no start looking. It's always looking.
Well, I realize that, but I mean, I would think you should be able to.
There's no need for the alert.
we have event propagation, yes.
Okay.
And because we will have a grid, we designed the thing as a grid, it will say, okay, because it's out for 20 years, that cameras can give the information to the other one that it finds itself anyway. But so if you say, okay, we have an event, there is an incident of something, this incident can be given to another station so that it will track it at the same time.
But it will track it anyways.
It will track it anyways. It will find it, but it says, okay, this is not a new incident. It is an incident that we already know of. The same
ID. Maybe they can share event IDs. That's the good idea.
But like if that first one looks at it good enough and says, hey, this is not a bird, this is not a plane, this is not, this is an unidentified flying aircraft, then I would think we would want it to be able to send that priority to the next station to say, hey, this is hot, be on it. You don't have to decide. Start aiming your telescope now.
If you think it on the other way, upside down, if every node is sending its information, tracking IDs to a central node, and the central node says, this node, there's a distance estimated with, let's say, 100 meters, I exaggerate now, okay? And it says it is a bird. And the other station says it is 5 kilometers and it is something unknown. The central node can evaluate that it is the same event, but differently classified. And the classifying is also on the probability for this classification is also in distance. So something that's closer is more reliable than something that's far away. And only the central node can do that. Okay?
And so the central node will be able to tell the other ones, don't bother to look at this because one closer to it's told that it's a bird.
No, the central node is doing classification on the information of, let's say, several stations.
Yeah.
And if it just receives, let's say, of an unclassifiable object, it alerts already the other nodes and says, okay, give me your data. I need more data. Like Johnny 5 input. And but if some classification already marks it as, let's say, a UFO, other stations, because the density of the stations is set so high that other will detect it in the same manner. Then 2 or 3 station will report it as the same classification, of course. And so the node knows, the let's say the second level node already knows that it is classified by several station as, let's say, UFO.
I guess my thought is if there's 7 different things that this camera could all be looking at, and 6 of them have been determined to be birds or airplanes, I wouldn't want my unit wasting its time having to look at all 7 of these.
It doesn't.
To see what they are when the node knows that that one is probably a UFO and these 6 are not, I would want mine to just zoom right to that one and not have to analyze every one of them.
Got it.
All stations decide that because they
Well,
don't
that's a lot of
prioritize
time
birds.
going
They prioritize the unknown.
Uh,
All stations are going to do that, not only yours.
Yeah, Christian, wait a second. I think I understood Wayne's point. So what you need to consider is that there are master sensors and slave sensors. A slave sensor is only jumping on, powered up, being used when a master sensor says there is something. Like say the pan tilt focus camera is something like that. So when there is something seen on the fisheye, this direction, the PTF will then slew around and point in the same direction. Only in the case that the fisheye says something has to be done. So what you are saying is maybe something is out of the visual range of a sensor, but a station, but the next station already picked something up coming the way. That could mean that a central node knowing that, so it knows that the central node knows that the first station is recognizing something on the horizon, something's moving in whatever direction. It already knows, okay, that direction, the next station is there and there. I can alert that station. So the station fires up all its slave sensors because the master sensors run anyways. But the object is not on the radar of the master sensors. So in that case, it could be a rule that the central node sends an emergency. Bye, Fabio.
Bye.
Sends an emergency and redirects all the slave sensors as well. So to catch it as soon as possible, for example.
That is already in our design. No, that's
what I was asking.
It's already in our design. That's why we said we want to have multiple sensors on multiple stations.
Yeah.
It was a question because I didn't know if you guys were planning to do that or not.
Yeah.
But
that was already in the basic design of why we use a PTF and because it's so easy slewing it and this thing that the second level node will alert a PTF in advance.
Okay, I didn't know if
this is already automated because if you want to track something, you have to do it in advance because you have to slew to it and you can't do that. So it is already pointing in that direction.
Yeah,
so you have to calculate in interception course. And that was already planted in the vision that we brought out in 2021.
Okay, cool. That's good.
There's one thing. There's one thing that we did not solve yet. It's the sunlight.
I have 2 or 3 ideas how to do that. It's pretty easy.
You slew around.
Doesn't matter because we are under a dome.
Yeah.
For the all-scale cam, it's pretty easy to mask the sun.
Easy, but I'm talking about the PTF. How to slew around the sun in the PTF.
We know where the sun is, and we say, okay, avoid the sun. Don't go any further than 10 degrees to the sun. That's already done with any other. Mit jedem anderen Teleskop. Mit jedem anderen Teleskop machst du ja genau das. Mit jedem anderen, das ist ja heute schon in der Software drin. Das habe ich ja schon im BTTS selbst drin.
Dann gehen wir jetzt kurz auf Deutsch. Sorry guys, goodbye to all the English speaking. We're jumping to German now. Ja, aber ich meine, wenn du einen Abfangkurs wählst, dann musst du ja gleichzeitig Azimuth und Elevation ändern von der PTF. Du musst es ja dorthin drehen. Damit hast du automatisch einen bestimmten Kurs. Wenn dieser Kurs aber durch die Sonne führen würde, müsstest du einen anderen Kurs wählen.
Ja, du wählst unten drunter rum, also entweder vom Bild her,
musst du ja schon
unten
wissen,
drunter oder drüben.
Ja, schon klar. Aber dazu
das weißt du doch.
Ja, aber
du weißt auch, wo der Mond ist.
Okay.
Du weißt auch, wo die ganzen anderen Sterne sind und Planeten. Das weißt du alles. Weil das ja alles Objekte sind, die du rausgenommen haben willst. Und diese Sachen sind ja sowieso katalogmäßig ja schon jetzt in BTTS hinterlegt.
So habe ich sie nicht gemeint. Weil ich sage, du schaust erst dann, wo die Sonne... Okay, machen wir mal ein Beispiel. Ein Ding fliegt und die Kamera, die PTF, schaut irgendwo hin. So, wir wissen also, wenn wir einen Abfangkurs berechnen wollen, das Ding fliegt auf irgendeiner Geraden und wir schätzen den mal ab, er wäre ballistisch und geht gleich weiter. Wir müssen es ja jede Sekunde oder jeden Frame neu evaluieren, aber sagen wir mal, okay, wir haben einen Vektor. Wir haben einen Vektor von der PTF und wir müssen die irgendwann in der Zukunft zusammenbringen auf einen Meeting Point, diesen Abfangpunkt.
Ja.
Und entlang dieses Meeting Points könnte die Sonne stehen. Jetzt müsste die PTF aber einen anderen Kurs wählen. Es könnte sein, dass der untere Kurs besser ist als der obere Kurs, zum Beispiel.
Ja.
Abhängig von der
Aber diese Sachen sind ja direkt mitberechnet.
Okay.
Wenn du einen Weg dahin berechnest, dann hast du sogenannte Zones of Avoidance, also Aussparungszonen.
Okay.
So, und weil wir ja extra, das ist ja der Grund, warum wir nicht in X, Y und Z rechnen, weil das viel zu kompliziert und viel zu kompliziert ist, viel zu lange dauert. Du musst ja die ganze Zeit halt eben wirklich lange trigonomische Funktionen lösen. Also Umrechnung machen. Du musst eine Lorentz-Transformation in das System.
Wir bleiben in Azimuth and Elevation, ja?
Ja, ja, genau. Eigentlich machen wir Rektaszension und Deklination, weil das ja im Endeffekt die natürlichste Weise ist, eine Montierung zu machen. Und du hast halt eben die ganzen Himmelskörper ja schon gleich in diesen Koordinaten.
Klar.
So, und BTTS rechnet ja das eine in das andere in Echtzeit um. Das heißt also, da hast du keinen Zeitverlust. Es läuft beides gleichzeitig mit.
Und diese Avoid-Funktion gibt es bereits?
Ja. Die habe ich schon programmiert.
Das wusste ich nicht. Okay, coole Sache das.
BTTS ist ja halt eben ein System, um Teleskope zu steuern. Das ist skalierbar. Und da sind ja die ganzen Kataloge hinterlegt. Wir haben 180 Gigabyte an Katalogdaten.
Mir war noch nicht klar, dass in dem Tool auch das Avoidant dabei ist. Weißt du, es ist mir vollkommen klar, dass man irgendwo hinsteuern möchte. Aber etwas zu vermeiden, in den Pfad zu bekommen, ist schon eine spezielle Funktion. Ich wusste nicht, dass das bereits implementiert ist.
Läuft über S-Splines. Das ist ja eine Sache, die ich ja halt eben tatsächlich brauche, gerade auch am Taghimmel. Wenn ich am Taghimmel die Venus suchen möchte zum Beispiel, oder ich möchte Jupiter am Taghimmel beobachten, die kannst du mit bloßem Auge am Taghimmel beobachten. Dann machst du ja auch nichts anderes. Das heißt also, weil du die Positionen am Himmel kennst, was übrigens ein Grund dafür ist, dass es zum Beispiel diesen Planet X nicht geben kann. Denn dann würde keine Himmelsmechanik funktionieren. Dann könntest du nichts vorausberechnen.
Wieso ist das ein Grund dafür?
Ja, weil du sonst, also allein die Störungsrechnung, die wir haben, wir können ja Ephemeriden von Planeten, der Sonne und dem Mond für die nächsten 10 Jahre vorausberechnen. Das wäre ja nicht mit einer Genauigkeit, dass du jedes Teleskop auf der Welt einfach dahin schicken kannst und das Objekt ist mittig drin. Das wäre nicht möglich, wenn wir solche Objekte, genau.
Ja klar,
so.
Okay. Und da das aber möglich ist, sehen wir, es kann keinen X geben, das meinst du?
Richtig.
Ich verstehe, okay.
Und es auch eine zweite Erde, die immer exakt genau hinter der Sonne steht, kann es aus diesem Grund nicht geben.
Das Einzige, was sein kann, dass dieser Planet X eine dermaßen große Umlaufbahn hat, dass er erst in 10.000 Jahren wiederkommt. Dann haben wir keine Aufzeichnungen.
Auch dann, es heißt ja, das Ding hätte mindestens Jupitermasse.
Okay.
So, und ich meine, ich habe das Originalpaper von der NASA tatsächlich gelesen. Die gehen von was ganz anderem aus. Die gehen davon aus, dass diese Störungen auch zum Beispiel durch Proxima Centauri D oder E erzeugt werden können, weil er weit genug draußen ist. So, und der Vorbeiflug an einem anderen Sternensystem erzeugt dieselbe Störung. Das kannst du damit ziemlich erklären, weil das Problem ja halt eben ist, dass du mindestens 10, 15 Jahre brauchst, um eine solche Störung zu finden und sie so dermaßen klein ist, dass die Positionen auseinandergehen. So, und mit jedem Tag, der verschreitet, wird deine Wahrscheinlichkeit deutlich geringer, dass dieses Phänomen, dass irgendwas wegdriftet, eintritt. So, dazu hast du dann ja auch noch die Sache, die Sonne verliert Masse, die Erde bekommt teilweise, die Erde selber verliert Masse, sie bekommt aber auch welche hinzu, sie driftet von der Sonne weg, das heißt, du hast dort periodische Systeme.
Der Mond driftet weg.
Der Mond driftet weg, und du hast ja eine kontinuierliche Stabilisierung der Bahn. So, wahrscheinlich ist es sogar so, dass bis dahin misst die Sonne halt, die hat ungefähr Halbzeit, also in etwa 5,5 Milliarden Jahren, hat sie dann mal ihren Brennstoff so weit aufgebraucht. Also Wasserstoff ist immer noch da, aber sie hat ihn so aufgebraucht, dass das Heliumbrennen startet. So. Und dann ist die Gravitationsfähigkeit schon so gering, dass die Erde auf einer deutlich weiter außenen Bahn sich bewegt. Entsprechend alles auch kühler wird.
Mhm.
Selbst wenn sich die Sonne bis zur Venusbahn ausdehnt, dann hat sie nicht mehr so viel Flächendichte an Gravitation und die Erde wird gar nicht mal irgendwie in die Sonne stürzen.
Nein, das glaube ich auch nicht. Wir würden wahrscheinlich außerhalb der Plutobahn gedrängt.
Ja, irgendwo rauskatapultiert per Swingby oder sonst wie. Das kann man halt mal alles durchsimulieren. Das ist auch nicht mal das Problem. Das sind Sachen, die kann man heutzutage ziemlich gut simulieren. Da würde ich mir auch gar keine Gedanken machen, denn mal ernsthaft, wie verschrumpelt möchte man denn dann halt eben sein, wenn das erst in 10,5 oder 5,5 Milliarden Jahren stattfindet? Das werden wir höchstens durch Reinkarnation dann mal miterleben. Und bei Reinkarnation ist ja das große Problem, dass du immer dann, wenn du einen neuen Körper zugewiesen bekommst, du ja total vergisst, wie die Details deines Lebens vorher ausgesehen haben. Spielt also überhaupt gar keine Rolle, was in 5,5 Milliarden Jahren passiert. So, das sind natürlich einfach Sachen, aber was für uns als Effekt bei rumkommt, ist ja gerade, dass wir genau mit diesen Sachen, weil wir ja wirklich sehr genau ein Teleskop an eine Stelle bewegen können und mit Systemen, die nicht auf Windows basieren, also Microsoft-Produkten basieren, kriegen wir das tatsächlich auch auf unter einer Bogensekunde hin, weil halt eben bei Microsoft-Produkten immer noch die Systemuhr mit CPU-Takt läuft.
Okay. Ich
meine, innerhalb der 90er Jahre war das eine gute Idee zu sagen, okay, wir können dem Echtzeit-Chip nicht unbedingt vertrauen, aber seit spätestens der 2000er Jahre sind die Echtzeit-Chips, also Realtime-Clock-Chips, so gut geworden, dass sie gerade mal 3 Nanosekunden pro Monat verlieren. Da ist es also totaler Wahnsinn, unter Microsoft-Systemen zu sagen, wir vertrauen dem nicht und lassen bis heute die Systemzeit mit CPU-Takt laufen. Das führt einfach zu Positionsungenauigkeiten bei Teleskopen. Die liegen zwischen 3 und 7 Bogenminuten daneben. Wenn du aber nur ein Gesichtsfeld vom Teleskop von 10 Bogenminuten hast und du liegst 7 Bogenminuten daneben, ist doch klar, dass du nichts mehr triffst. So, aber das sind Sachen, die sind seit spätestens der 2000er Jahre längst behoben, dadurch, dass du einfach das richtige Betriebssystem verwendest. Und genau das ist das, was wir ja bei uns auch machen müssen. Ja. Wir haben, sagen wir mal, nehmen wir mal Jupiter als Referenz, was wir halt tatsächlich sinnvoll flächig auflesen können, 1,7 Bogensekunden. Das heißt also, wir müssen mindestens Jupiter treffen. Also wir müssen bei irgendwie 1,7 Bogenminuten Genauigkeit liegen. Wir liegen aber mit einer Öffnung von 60 Bogensekunden, von 60 Millimetern, ja weit drunter. Wir liegen ja bei etwa einer Bogensekunde. Nicht ganz, irgendwie 1,6 oder so. Das heißt also, wir können tatsächlich Jupiter abfahren, weil er für uns ja wirklich ein ausgedehntes Objekt ist. Und das bedeutet also, wir müssen halt eben schon wirklich GPS-Dongle verwenden, um auf eine möglichst hohe Positionierungsgenauigkeit kommen.
Du, ein großes Thema haben wir noch, die Orientierung, Initial Setup. Das müssten wir irgendwann einmal auch geklärt haben.
Ja gut, am Anfang ist das ja noch relativ einfach. Wir können zum Beispiel den Sonnenverlauf, wir kennen die Sonnenposition und können anhand der Sonnenposition natürlich schon mal sagen, wo Norden und wo Süden ist. Das ist sozusagen am Tag. Wenn wir sozusagen die Station abends hinstellen, dann gucken wir uns einfach mal kurz die Sternbilder an und lassen das durch Astrometrie.net jagen und haben einen sehr, sehr genauen Fix und eine sehr genaue Position.
Wir kriegen damit ja auch nicht nur den Azimut ausgerichtet, Nord-Süd, sondern auch die Elevation, weil wir in der Noon-Zeit auch die Sonne wissen, wo sie sein müsste und auch diese
Verdrehung
um die Kante auch noch einplanen können. Okay.
Inklusive Verkippung in jede Richtung. Okay. Und tatsächlich Koordinaten, Positionsdaten.
Hast du ein Tool dafür? Gibt es das schon?
Das AstroPi hat diese Algorithmen schon
Diese
drin, um
Funktion schon
diese
drin?
Sachen zu bestimmen.
Okay.
Das gibt es schon etwas länger. AstroPi ist jetzt mittlerweile auch in Rust umgesetzt.
Ja.
Nennt sich dran Astro Rust. Und das ist eigentlich das, was jedes Teleskop mit jeder Teleskopsteuerung, die heute, sagen wir mal, bei K-Stars Ecos ist das alles schon mit drin, dass du das damit machen kannst. Und wie gesagt, solche Tools für die Positionsbestimmung oder die Koordinatenbestimmung hast du ja mit astrometry.net in kostenlos online sogar zur Verfügung.
Ja, also solange es diese AstroPi-Geschichte gibt und wir können damit kompilieren, ist es ja großartig, weil dann können wir auch gleich diese intrinsischen Parameter einfach nur festlegen. Mir geht es darum, weil wir kriegen immer wieder Anfragen von Leuten, die dann ihre Station von A nach B versetzen wollen. Und ob das möglich ist.
No
Und
problem.
natürlich, es bedarf natürlich eines neuen Initial-Setups. Das muss noch einmal durchgelaufen werden.
Naja, ich meine, wir können es halt so machen, dass sobald praktisch die Kamera Sterne erkennt, dass er das als Subroutine noch einmal laufen lässt, um dann über die statistische Häufigkeit genauer zu werden.
Ja, aber es heißt auch trotzdem, dass es dafür eine gewisse Zeit braucht, weil wir ja eine Beobachtungszeit brauchen und also nicht während dieses Vorgangs das Fahrzeug oder die Station sich bewegen kann. Die Station muss aufgestellt werden und es muss dieser
Und
Prozess,
dann muss einmal
dieser
die
Prozess durchgelaufen werden.
also die Positionsbestimmung des Beobachtungsstandortes, das muss einmal bestimmt werden.
Okay. Was glaubst du, wie lange das dauert?
Einmal
könnte?
passiert das, wenn die Station hochgefahren ist, bekommt sie ja erstmal GPS-Signale. So, das gibt erstmal eine schon ziemlich gute Positionierung auf 3 bis 5 Meter.
Aber noch,
je nachdem,
aber noch
wo man
keine
ist.
Orientierung. Also was ich sagen
So,
will,
die Orientierung ist dann, wenn das Ding läuft, erstmal kriegt es die Koordinaten, weil die braucht es erstmal, damit es sagen kann, wo ist denn überhaupt die Sonne. Dann wissen wir, okay, wo ist die Sonne, wie spät ist es gerade. So, damit haben wir auf alle Fälle schon eine Ausrichtung. Wenn es aber bewölkt ist...
Nicht eindeutig, sorry.
Nee, es ist noch nicht hundertprozentig
eindeutig. Es kann immer noch
aber
Vormittag oder Nachmittag sein, wenn es die Sonne ist.
Nee.
Wenn
Die Sonne ist um 12 Uhr mittags im Meridian.
Du weißt
du kannst sofort erkennen,
Christian,
wo steht die Sonne, weil du das Datum und die Uhrzeit ja kennst.
Ja, wo sie sein sollte, das wissen wir. Alles klar, das ist simpel. Aber du hast jetzt nur ein Kamerabild, da siehst du die Sonne. Du kannst jetzt sagen,
ja.
Ich denke, wenn die Kamera horizontal liegen würde, dann müsste die Sonne da sein. Siehst du aber hier.
Nein, gar nicht mal. Gar nicht mal, sondern du siehst ja die Sonne als hellsten Punkt am Himmel. Und damit hast du das Koordinatensystem sofort festgelegt, weil du ja die Daten aus der Beobachtungszeit und dem Beobachtungsort hast und weißt, wo steht da die Sonne, weil das ja in deinem Lookup-Table schon drin ist. Das ist ja hinterlegt.
Schon klar.
So, und weil du dann ja siehst, okay, dann machst du praktisch die Erkennung drauf und hast sofort das Koordinatensystem festgelegt.
Okay, natürlich.
Und damit weißt du, wo Norden, Süden, Meridian und sonst was ist.
Alles klar.
Und diese Sachen, die kann jede Teleskopsteuerung schon.
Das heißt, das geht eigentlich in Sekunden schnell. Das heißt, sobald ich jetzt das Ding einschalte, die Station hochfahre, könnte das der erste Prozess sein, zu sehen, wo bin ich gerade. Und wie ist meine Orientierung?
Sagen wir, unter bestmöglichen Voraussetzungen würde ich sagen, ist in 5 Minuten fertig.
Okay.
Weil du weißt ja nicht, wie lange das System im Endeffekt dann nachher braucht, um hochzufahren, alle Systeme kurz durchzuchecken. Lass mal, sagen wir mal, die erste Check-Routine 2 Minuten dauern. Mit dem ganzen Orientierungskrempel und alles durchprüfen, bist du bestenfalls in 5 Minuten damit durch.
Okay. Und
was ich gerne ausprobieren möchte, dafür habe ich mir jetzt noch eine Strebe besorgt, 2 Streben besorgt, dass du eine solche Station mobil nutzen kannst auf dem Autodach.
Live meinst du?
Live.
Okay.
Das stellt natürlich ein paar andere Anforderungen an das, was Fabio im Moment tut.
Naja,
Weil wenn du zwei Dinge hast, die sich bewegen, du selbst mit der Station plus ein Objekt, und da werden wir dann auf alle Fälle ein Performance-Problem noch haben.
Ich meine, wir kriegen
Weil
die
du ja
Daten,
zwei
die,
Bewegungen
wir
miteinander korrelieren musst.
Wir kriegen die Geokoordinate sehr ungenau. Und wir müssten sie also quasi glätten, den Bewegungspfad. Das heißt, das könnte man nur
Das machst du mit dem Kalman-Filter. Das ist
ja,
nicht das
aber nur
Problem.
nachträglich, dann verlierst du die ganze Realtime-Geschichte.
Nee,
Oder wir müssen
nein,
sie splitten.
das geht mittlerweile in Realtime. Weil du mit Differential GPS ja wirklich das normale, dein Navi zum Beispiel, weiß ja auch, wo du bist, obwohl du dich bewegst. Da bist du bei 3 bis 5 Metern Ungenauigkeit in der Position.
Ja,
Mit Differential GPS bist du bei 1 bis 3 Zentimetern. Das reicht ja. Differential GPS ist an der Stelle ziemlich interessant. Das Problem ist zum Beispiel, dass also derzeit sind die U-Block 7, das sind die VK 162 Dongle, die brauchen eine gewisse Zeit, bis zu 2 Minuten, bis sie ihren 3D-Fix haben. Mhm. Aber dann ist das auch ziemlich genau, gerade mit Differential GPS, weil du ja zum Beispiel Signale von, in diesem Fall Starlink sogar, nutzen kannst für das Differential GPS. Mhm. Aber Starlink hinzuzufügen macht die Station nochmal um einiges teurer.
Naja, das sind Special Equipment.
Ja, natürlich sind das Sachen, die natürlich sind das jetzt gerade Sachen, die ja nicht nächste Woche im Endeffekt da sind. Aber das sind alles Sachen, die noch gebaut werden müssen. Die haben wir ja auch alle in unserer Vision auf dem Plan. Die haben wir auch alle auf dem Schirm.
Und zum Teil in der Schublade. Ja, könnte alles nur realisiert.
Und zum Teil in der Schublade. So, gerade an der Stelle ist ja das, was die Astronomie über die letzten 30 Jahre entwickelt hat, das ist ja direkt brauchbar. Das können wir direkt einsetzen und es zu unseren Tools einfach hinzufügen. Ja. Deshalb gibt es ja AstroPi, deshalb gibt es ja auch mittlerweile eine Implementierung in Rust, die genau dasselbe macht. Man hat wirklich die AstroPi-Library genommen und 1:1 in Rust umgeschrieben. Mhm. Total cool. Mhm. Und das ist dann natürlich interessant, dass wir das direkt auf den Teensys berechnen lassen können. Ohne dass wir dann nochmal den Klotz hier brauchen.
Du willst Rust auf die Teensys bringen?
Ja. Besser als C.
Ja. Okay.
Das sind 34 oder 35% schneller als C-Code.
Ja.
Hi.
Hey Luna. So, Christian, ich muss jetzt noch was auf Englisch sagen. So, guys, we're closing this video right now. See you next time, next weekend. Bye bye.
Yep, see you.